Hello and welcome everyone to the APH Excel Academy for Upper Elementary. This week we are serious about science, STEM, science and technology, engineering and math. And we are so excited that you are with us today. Feel free to write in the chat who you are, where you're from. We would love to know who's joining us today for the fun. And it is going to be a fun time today. So we're thrilled that you're here. Again, this is the APH Virtual Excel Academy for Upper Elementary. And this week we're learning all about STEM. And this is our last Excel camp week for the summer. So we're happy that you are with us and we can't wait to dive in and learn so much. But first, we want to be able to introduce you to your instructors. And so who we have with you today is Cheryl Hannan, professor from California State. Would you like to say hello, Cheryl?
Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us.
Thank you. And Johna Bogue. She is a school science teacher from California. Can you say hello, Johna?
Hello, friends. Can't wait to be with you today.
Great. And Lamarra, teacher of the visually impaired in California. We're so thrilled that you're with us today. Can you say hello?
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Mina, my daughter. Mina, can you say hi too?
Hi, everyone.
Hello. We are so glad that you're with us today. So, but first, the last time that we were all together, we were serious about science again as well, but we learned about animal adaptations. We received a few photos after the fact, after the camp was over with. So we wanted to make sure to take a minute to be able to share those photos with you so you can see. And our first one is of Andrew, and he has an animal face that he made using a paper plate and hair at the top that has been used with jingle bells and some fuzzy pipe cleaners. I love that the ears and the teeth were made maybe with what was used as a paper towel tube or roll. A really cute yellow nose, and the eyeballs that were actually made with some squiggly pipe cleaners. It is so cute, and we are glad that you sent that in, Andrew. Another picture came from our friend Manny, and Manny is holding a big figurine. If you can imagine, it's two balls put together. One that's the size of a basketball that looks like it has paper machete on it, and then maybe on the end of it, a smaller size, more of a volleyball size. And it looks like it has a cone-shaped nose and a large ears that are on either side of the head and big blue eyes. And we are so glad, Manny, that you sent us that picture. Then we have this picture. This is from Cam, and I'm hoping that I can play this for you, and we'll see if his voice, if you can hear it. It's an audio file.
Can you look up?
And it has, oops, you can see all around him. And it has elephant ears to help him feed him.
You know, the sound is just so faint, it's not coming through, and I'm so sorry, but I love it. He described the head that is made with eyeballs that looks like it's two cups with some kind of, blue material at the end. It almost looks like the bubbles that you can pop, the packaging bubbles. Big elephant sized ears on either side and a beak for a nose. Cam, I'm sorry I didn't describe that as well because it looks great and my words just don't meet up to it. So I am sorry for that, and I'm also sorry that we weren't able to pick your great voice up on the audio. But what was really great is here is a frontal view of Cam's picture as well, so that it's front on, that you can see the big elephant ears and the pointy nose. Then today, this was so great, the extension activity, getting you ready for all the engineering fun that you're going to have this week. This is Kenji, and Kenji has two angles of a building that he created using a box and paper. It looks like that he even has a plastic bottle that maybe had been filled with water at one time. He uses books, and there's this great label on the side that says Kenji's Building, and we are so excited to see that. I love that. Love the imagination. And Nadia, I hope I said your name right too, Nadia. This is an adorable picture. I love it. It is tall. You are standing next to your figurine that you built using, looks like maybe a brown Amazon box with some shoe boxes and cups, and you just did a stacking and layering building, and I love it. But in this picture, you can see that it is half the height of you, so it's so tall. I'm so glad that you sent those in. Keep sending us your pictures and letting us see the great fun that you are having at home. It helps us to see what your imagination is. So we are glad for that. So now it's time for us to get underway, and I am ready to give it to all of you instructors because the campers are all yours.
Thank you so much, Amy, for that introduction. And friends, thank you so much for sending in your photos. We have prizes for you, so keep on sending them in. The first week of camp was inspired by a series called What If? And so here's a book that we based it off of. What if you had animal eyes? And we have a book for our prize winners that we are going to send home with you. So keep on sending in those photos. We love to see them. We love to see what you're doing and hearing from you. Videos also work, so send those in to Leanne, and we will be announcing our prize winners on Thursday. So please get them into us as early as you can, Wednesday or Thursday morning at the very, very latest, so that we're able to look at all of them, judge them, and be able to announce our prize winners. Hello, everyone. If you get a chance, say hello to us back in the chat windows. I see Nadia from Maryland. Welcome. Sarah, welcome. Isaiah, welcome. We're so glad to have all of you. We are going to be talking today about creative engineering and crazy natural events. And today our focus is going to be on earthquakes. So before we really dive in, I'm going to make a couple of announcements. First of all, if you have spaghetti, go grab it, because we're going to need spaghetti. What are we going to do with spaghetti? I wonder what we're going to do. It'll be super fun. You need a marshmallow. So I have a bag of marshmallows. You really only need one. That means more for eating later. You need tape. And if you have string, you could use string. I like to use a cookie tray because cookie trays keep things from rolling away and falling off the table. So you might want to have a cookie tray as well. And we are going to be building with all of those things. One last thing that might help is a pair of scissors. And although I have been able to just break off my spaghetti by snapping them in half, but that's just a hint for later. Anyways, so let's hear about earthquakes. Johna, take it away.
Hello, friends. So today we're going to use our knowledge about building a plan, and we will create something that can withstand an earthquake. So let's first begin learning about earthquakes. But before we do, let's talk about the main layers of the earth. Can someone share on text in the text box if you know the layers of the earth? Ooh, I see one answer. It says crust. Very good. That's what we're standing on. That's with our water and our land. I see the lava. Mantle, very good. The core, I see that. Excellent, excellent. So friends, I like to think of it this way. We have our inner core, outer core, mantle, and our crust. And I usually do this in class. I'll go inner core, outer core, mantle, crust. Inner core, outer core, mantle, crust. So
I love how you're doing those hand motions. And friends, if you want to do it with us, what we're doing is our inner core, our fingers touch each other and make a very small ball. So if you're able to do that, put your fingers together, make a tiny little ball. That's the core, right, Johna?
that's the inner core.
The inner core. And then what's the next hand motion? A little wider?
And just a little wider, you'll make your hands a little wider, outer core. And then I do like a circle mantle, a bigger circle. And then finally crust, I put my hands over my head with the circle. So it's just a great way to learn about that. Excellent. I see that, Anna, you learned that in 3rd grade. Excellent.
Love
So
it.
most of our Earth's surface, the crust, is covered with water. We have 70% of water, and the remaining of the surface is 30%, which is taken by land. So the surface of Earth is like a jigsaw puzzle. I want you to try to picture that in your brain, a jigsaw puzzle. It is not a single piece of land. Instead, there are about 20 pieces of a puzzle that constantly move, that lie in the mantle. And remember, that's right below our crust. We don't feel it because they move quite slowly. Each one of those puzzle pieces are called, does anyone know? They are called, it starts with the letter T. Yes, excellent, Matthew, tectonic plates. Whenever those plates hit, bump into each other, or slide past another plate, that is when we feel an earthquake. So where the 2 plates meet and move up to the surface, it is called the fault plane. So about 500,000, that's a lot, 500,000 quakes rock the earth every day. That's millions a year. People don't feel, though, most of them because the quake is too small or too far below the surface or deep in the sea. Some, however, are so powerful that they can be felt thousands of miles away. So a powerful earthquake can cause landslides, tsunamis, and flooding. Most damage happens in populated areas. That's because the shaking can cause windows to break, structures to collapse and fall, fire, and other dangers. So let's see plates move 3 different ways. So I would like you right now to take your hands and make a fist of each. And I would like to take your fists and push them together. Pushing together. That is called a convergent plate. I like to think of that as convergence starts with the letter C, as come stands with the letter C. They come together. It's where they push together. Sometimes one plate will move under the other, just like over the knuckles, and this is called subduction. And that's where tsunamis occur. Although the movement is slow, convergent boundaries can be areas of geographical activity such as the forming of mountains and volcanoes, which we'll learn about later this week. So divergent, now I would like you to take your fists and put them together with your knuckles matching, and now I want you to push them away. And this is called divergent boundaries, and they divide. So I like to think they both start with the letter D, divide. A divergent boundary is used where 2 plates are getting pushed apart and new land is formed by magma pushing up from the mantle and cooling as it reached the surface. And that would be, as you know, volcanoes. And we finally have our last ones, and this is where I take my hands and I lie it out straight, and I put my other hand straight, and I connect them together, and I just simply slide past each other. And those are called transform boundaries, where your hands are sliding. And these plates are often called faults and can be areas as earthquakes. That's where earthquakes occur. It shakes. Geologists cannot predict earthquakes. They hope they will in the future, though, through continued research and technology. So now let's talk about building something that can withstand an earthquake. Can someone tell me what part of the building, now imagine you're building something, what really needs to be stable? Please type in your answers. What's the most important part that needs to be stable? I see the base, I see the bottom. Excellent. Excellent. And you know what the answer is? The base, the foundation. Excellent, Andrew. Excellent, Anna. You read about earthquakes. I love it. So yes, friends, you are correct. The base, or someone also said the foundation. So that's really, really important, the bottom. So today, you really need to think about that when we are building. And now for the task of the day. Are you ready, friends? We will be asking you to create in a limited time a tall, freestanding spaghetti tower. And remember, it will be able to withstand an earthquake because we are going to shake it, and we have to keep that in mind how we are building our base. The materials, as we mentioned earlier, you will have we have our spaghetti and we have our tape. And if you have masking tape, that works really well, or Scotch tape. We have scissors if you wanted to cut with your masking tape. And we also have string if you need to cut your string. And finally, the delicious marshmallow. Now, I know that's really hard because you're really hungry right now, but friends, we cannot touch that marshmallow. And this is where it all comes. Here are the rules. Are you ready for the rules? On the cookie sheet, you will build the largest and strongest freestanding tower that you can. The goal. The tower will also need to have the marshmallow placed on the very top of the tower. And when we shake the pan, acting out an earthquake, the tower needs to remain standing. So you will have 15 minutes or so using the materials to build the tallest tower. The structure should be placed on the cookie sheet. Now here, friends, this is the hard part. The entire marshmallow must be on top. No cutting it, no eating it, no smashing that marshmallow. Use as much or as little of the materials as you like, and you may use the scissors, as I said, to cut the tape, or if it helps, I usually just, like Cheryl said, break the spaghetti. And remember, this is key. Being the tallest and strongest tower does not always mean it has to be that tall. Some of you like to go all the way up here, but you have to remember what is going to be on top is that marshmallow. So if it's tall, you really have to think about that base. You really need to think about how you're going to design that. So most importantly, just think about that base. So now I have my spaghetti and I have my tape. And remember, sometimes it's easier to just break it. If I take my pasta and I broke it, which I just did in half, that's pretty tall. You have to think about that. So, are you ready? Let's refer to the plan before you begin. Ask yourself questions right now. How can you succeed? Imagine and plan. You may sketch it out for a few minutes if that works. You might quietly plan. Or you might put your hands on the materials just to get some ideas. Or maybe you have someone next to you and you can talk it over. So we'll give you a few minutes to think about that, and then we will let you begin to create. And I know that we have Mina. She's going to create a tower as you do, and we will have about that 15 minutes, and I hope you have fun designing. So now let's pass it over to Mina and Parissa.
Johna, we did have a couple questions come through in the chat window, if perhaps maybe you're able to answer them. So a couple friends at home don't have a marshmallow. Is there something else they could use, like maybe some Play-Doh rolled up in a ball, or what would work?
Creative, absolutely. You can use anything that comes to your mind. You can scrunch up a piece of paper. You can put an eraser on top. Like, just be creative, and it's just about having fun because we don't have all those materials. So just think what works for you.
Awesome. And then Parissa was suggesting maybe even a piece of bread would work. So that would be good. Okay. All right, friends. So get your materials ready. We're going to hand it over to Parissa and Mina. And I'm going to turn my camera on here because I have my friend, Amaya, who's also going to be working. And so we'll have us both on camera here. Parissa, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Johna. I've got Mina here with me. I'm going to move our camera away a little bit and point it down so you all can see what she's doing. So she's sitting in front of a cookie tray, and she's got some pieces of uncooked spaghetti, and she's got one big fat marshmallow that she has managed not to eat yet, which is good. She's got some Scotch tape and some scissors. Now, Mina's had a little bit of time to think about this. What are you going to do? Tell us what you're going to do.
So I'm going to start by building my base, and I'm going to take some spaghetti noodles and make like a little square on the bottom and tape that together. And then I'm going to run a piece diagonally across to hold it in place. And then I'm going to start building up by putting spaghetti up from the corners and then kind of support them using tape and other pieces, winding down to the middle base. And then I'm going to put 2 feet, like a piece up, like across the sticks at the top, and then put a marshmallow on top of that.
Nina's really given this some thought. Start building. Let's see what you got.
This is the tough part.
This is the tough part. So she's going to build a base, is what I think she said. Now, are you going to break the spaghetti or are you going to keep it at the same length? Remember what Miss Johna said?
I think I'm going to break it in half.
Okay. So she's breaking her first piece of spaghetti noodle in half.
So I'm actually going to need 2 pieces, and that will make 4 sides. So I'm going to break them together that way the same way.
I like the way you're thinking. You're going
So
to
I'm
have
gonna hold
4
it up.
sides.
If you can see, I'm holding the 2 pieces of spaghetti in the middle. That way I can break them at the same time. And I'm about to break them in 3, 2.
And she broke them. Okay. So
And
now
I
let's
broke
see.
more.
Okay, so they did not break evenly. So what can you do?
I guess I could tape them. but
Okay, try it.
One already piece can run away.
Well, you've got other, now remember guys, she's got 20 pieces of spaghetti, and once she runs out of her 20 pieces, she's not supposed to use any more. So she's got to be creative with the pieces that she has. Now the first few are trial and error, right? You're learning as you go. So what did you figure out so far?
You have to break them more carefully.
Okay, keep going. Now she's grabbing the tape. Would you like some help?
I was determined.
You were determined. Why don't you tell us about that actually?
So we're practicing a skill called self-determination. And self-determination is you're more than welcome to ask for help, but you have to try first. That way, you know, you can give it a shot before you ask for help. That way you can do it independently one day. So one of the biggest parts of self-determination is perseverance. So if one thing fails, well, then you just have to try a different way.
Very good. So sometimes things don't turn out exactly the way that you hope that they will, but you are always learning something and you can try to make it better the next time. And that is also a big part of self-determination. Okay, how's it going with your tower?
Bad, I just lost a piece of tape. Mine distracted me.
Okay, sorry. Here, let me help you with this part. Here's a piece of tape.
Thank you.
I will be your assistant.
Well, you just tangled a piece of tape.
Sometimes assistants have trouble with tape.
Do they now?
Uh-huh. Keep going. All right, so now she's making a V, an upside down V, and taping 2 of the pieces of spaghetti together.
It's not a V, Mom. It's a kind of a.
And she's dropping pieces and she's getting a little frustrated. But that's okay. That's okay. Guys, while Mina's trying to build her spaghetti tower, why don't you type in the chat window and let's see how your experience is going, because she's having a little bit of difficulty, but she's still trying, so she's determined.
Mom, whose idea?
And we do have a friend who has her hand raised. It's Sarah. And so
Okay.
Sarah, I will allow you to be able to talk. If you unmute yourself, Sarah, you can share with us. Might need to press and hold down your space bar. Okay, well, if there's anyone else, we can be looking in the chat box to see if there's anyone else that wants to share something, or if there's someone else who has something to say, we can do that.
Yeah, but I need the marshmallow at the top.
Okay, keep going.
Friends at home, if you want to go ahead and also chat, you can raise your hand. So we might have a couple of hands raised there, and we'll be able to turn on cameras or just allow you to speak, and you'll be able to share with us what your process is and what your plan is as you're doing your tower.
Anna says, mine is perfectly standing on the table. I'd love to see what Anna's doing.
And I need some tips from you.
Nina would like some tips.
Well, keep your comments coming. If you are, share with us what you're thinking. Even if you're frustrated or you need encouragement, let us know what you're thinking of the activity and how it's going.
We can encourage each other, you guys.
Mina's got,
I'm almost got a
she's
square.
building a square base. So she's taken the spaghetti, she's cut it in half, and she's put 4 pieces together.
It's gonna be kind of a wonky square, but you know what? Parallelograms are in style.
Let's see. Anna says this is really fun.
Assistant mom.
Yes. Oh, would you like more tape? Excuse
Yes,
me.
please.
I'm being derelict in my duties. There you go. There's
You-
another piece of tape.
You
Keep
have
going.
been
Keep going, sweetheart.
you get a pair of
Okay, Israel says I have a question. Okay. Miss Johna says this is so exciting and it's hard, but we have to retry and retry. The thing about it that makes it so tricky is that the spaghetti breaks so easily.
like that just happened to me.
Exactly.
So I just have to retake
So
it
Mina's
together.
still working on the base. How's it going over there with Amaya? Amaya's taking a different tactic. She's holding the marshmallow on the tray and she's sticking the spaghetti into the marshmallow.
I thought about that, but I figured the marshmallow might have to be at the top.
The marshmallow is going to have to be at the top, but what can she do if she's
Flip it over.
exactly?
And Amaya, I just put the spotlight on you so they could see what your hands were doing for a moment and see what you're doing on your end with the spaghetti and marshmallow.
Okay, so friends, Amaya has decided to work backwards. She's starting at the top and working her way down. So she has started by poking the spaghetti into the marshmallow. And right now she's got the marshmallow at the bottom, which I think she's going to flip it around. And then she'll be able to have the spaghettis all pointing downward as the base. I'm working side by side with her and also playing around with this task. And so I'm going to show you what I've done here. What I have done is I've taken my spaghetti noodles and I've stretched tape across them so that the tape holds the spaghetti noodles together. Now I might have broken the rules a little bit, John. I think I used too much tape, but hopefully we'll be okay here and I'll be able to get it to stand. So I'm going to put it on the table. And it's a little bit crooked. I need my base I probably need another spaghetti on this side to be able to hold it up. But you'll be able to see it in the works here. Both Amaya and I working side by side. I would love to hear what you guys are all doing. So let's hear from friends at home if you are able to share with us. Raise your hand.
Johna, I have a question for you. So Mina is building her base still. And what she's doing is she's taping it to the actual tray.
Mom.
Is that allowed?
Actually, it is.
It is allowed.
You know what? If I did not say something, which they do in class, and I did not say, you couldn't do that. So she's really thinking. I also had Isaiah, he asked, well, I have 2 marshmallows. And he said, can I use one for the bottom of the base? And I let him go there because we're having fun. Now, it's just better to think about what you can do and think outside that box. And the goal is we're going to do this again. So you learn from your mistakes and you have to start thinking in your mind, how can I get this to stand? Good job, Mina.
Thank you, Johna. So Mina's now got a square that she has taped together and taped flat onto her tray.
Because I feel when you shake the tray, it's got to be stuck to the tray.
Because it has to be earthquake proof,
shake.
right? And so she's reinforcing it with tape.
Now the problem later is I'm going to have to take off the tray. Because I don't think my mom will do that for me.
So I feel like this thing is going to withstand an earthquake, but we shall see. How about everybody at home? Let's see what everyone at home is doing.
Well, it looks like maybe Uriah has hand raised, and maybe we can find out what Uriah has to say. Uriah, if you want to unmute yourself.
So I put a pound cake and then I put the noodles in a hexagon a little bit, and then I put the noodles like a little weave, and then I'm gonna tape the noodles together so I could put the other noodles on and then just tape them like that.
All right. Thank you for sharing what you are doing with yours.
You can tape it to the side. All right, Nina's now starting to build up, and she's building up from the corners, and she's trying to tape the corners down and build up.
So Mina, I have a question for you. What type of shape are you thinking from building up to the corners? I think I know what you're thinking.
I'm gonna build up as a square and then I'll lay pieces across and then put the marshmallow on.
Very cool. You can build up as a square. You can build up also as a triangle. So those really work. That's why they use triangles with bridges, because they're very, very secure. So that's a great idea, Mina. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I hope it works.
Nina, can I be an assistant in another way and provide you with an idea? I don't have to.
Oh, it's not
Okay, keep going. I just built a marshmallow standing on 4 sticks, and I'm going to stand it right next to Mina. So when she's done building hers, and we can shape the tray, we'll see which one can withstand the earthquake. I feel like Mina's is probably going to do better than mine.
Also because I spent more time on it.
We do have another friend who has his hand raised. Israel, if you would like to share, I'm going to allow you to talk. You just need to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So what I did was I was listening and I broke the spaghetti in half, and then I stuck in the spaghetti in one marshmallow, and then I stuck in some more on both sides. So like some in the middle and then some on both sides. And then I'm trying to keep it steady with taping the spaghetti into the marshmallow, and also taping the string around the bottom.
It's a lot of things to coordinate all at the same time to make it all work.
Mina is trying a different tactic. She's taken a marshmallow. There's 4 pieces of spaghetti sticking into the bottom of it. And she is going to, what are you going to do with that?
I'm sticking one in the middle that way it stands up better.
Okay, so now she's got 5 pieces of spaghetti sticking out of the bottom of the marshmallow. She's got 4 corners and 1 in the middle to help reinforce that base. Now, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be strong enough?
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Johna says it will stand if you work on the base. Okay. Anybody else want to tell us what you're doing at home? Do you have any tips? Anything that you found that works?
By reinforcing.
Anna is asking if she can show what she's doing. Is there a way we can turn the camera on for Anna Vladimirenko?
Yes, let me find her. And okay. Anna, I believe you should be able to unmute yourself, and you can also share. So you want to unmute yourself?
Oh.
We can see you. There you go.
So first, I made the Play-Doh flat, and then I just put
That's a good idea.
it in the stick, the spaghetti.
And use that. You know what I mean? That's a great idea. If you 1, 2, 3, 4, and then.
That is great.
So Anna used, she used some Play-Doh, and she used the Play-Doh as the 4 corners of the base.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it is very smart. So Mina's now trying a new approach. She took the marshmallow and stuck a bunch of spaghetti cut in half in the bottom. She stood it up, and now she's taping the bottom down, the spaghetti pieces, to the tray.
And guys, a quick tip. if you want to give your little marshmallow tower a quick test, you can try shaking it as you're building it and see if it falls over. Just make sure when you shake it that when it falls over, if it does, that you are able to rebuild it. Because if you shake it too early, it might fall and you can't rebuild.
Basically testing as she goes, which is pretty smart. She's giving it a little shake to see if it's wobbly.
That is great experimentation.
I noticed, is it Raraton? He's asking to share the camera as well.
Okay, let's.
I know.
Hang tight as I. Okay, I believe that you can now share your camera. Raraton, if I pronounced your name right, if I said it right, you should be able to share your camera. There you go.
It's Raritan.
Okay. Raritan.
It's a 10.
Thank you. Okay, you might want to tilt your camera down just a little bit. We would love to see what you're working on.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I taped this base to the cookie tray, and I broke a piece of spaghetti to the bottom, then taped it to the bottom too. And then I stuck this in, and I got another piece, put it through the marshmallow on top, so if it fell down, that would catch it.
I got to stand up.
That is amazing. I love that. I love that creativity as well.
You guys are excellent engineers. Thank you for sharing.
Love that. Raritan, we would love to have a picture of that with you next to it. It is taller than your head when it's standing on that table. And I love how you use so many pieces of spaghetti to hold it up. I see Johna in the background. She's got pumping her fist going, woohoo, thumbs up, way to go. And Mina, you're doing a great job too. Yours kind of looks like the Apollo spaceship. Mina has her marshmallow on the top with lots of landing legs coming down.
Thank you. I'm actually finished.
She's done.
Whoa, and each of those landing legs, if I could count them, it kind of looks like an octopus. How many do you have there? 8, 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is an octopus.
It's an octopus, and hers, each of those legs are taped down. So that is super, super cool. I found the hardest thing on my tower was the base, because it's hard to make things. So I was able to get it tall, but I don't know if it's going to be sturdy. But if you look at my base, I used a piece of paper mainly just because I wanted the contrast of the spaghetti noodles against the white background. You're able to see it a little bit. But the hardest thing for me to do was to get something really tall and skinny to stand up straight out of a piece of paper, perpendicular to that. How in the world do you do that? And look, there goes my tower. I might have gotten the tallest, but definitely not the sturdiest. Ah, there it goes. All right.
Okay. So Mina's sour now. So now that Mina's done, I don't know if Amaya's done, but I think
Amaya is just about done. So she is working on taping down the base as well. And I will have to say we definitely lost on the amount of tape that we used. I think we definitely exceeded our ration for amount of tape used. But again, she's having a hard time getting those legs to stand on the cookie tray. That's one of the hardest things, because again, it's a tiny little skinny thing perpendicular to the tray. So that's really challenging. But she's got a lot of tape and it looks pretty sturdy. She's got 4 landing legs coming out of her marshmallow.
No, 3.
3 landing legs, and it looks like one central grouping of spaghetti noodles.
Amaya, yours is a tripod and Mina's is an Octo Tower. Now, Mina, where do we live? Where do we happen to live?
We live right on top of a fault line.
We live right on top of a fault line. And what happens on fault lines?
We get a whole lot of earthquakes.
And what do you think I'm going to do right now? All right, guys.
I want that one.
You want to shake your tower? Okay, guys, I want you to simulate an earthquake and shake your tray. Amaya, shake your tray. Let's see if it's able to withstand.
Okay,
There
Whoa!
we go. Mina's is still standing.
It's still
Yeah.
standing.
5.6 earthquake. It's still going. I don't think it's gonna fall. Wow, Mina, congratulations.
Wow, that was very sturdy. All right, Maya, earthquake time. Let's see what happens. Give it a shake. She picked it up. She's rattling it around. You can hear the spaghetti noodles rattling on the tray, but it is sturdy. Look at that. It is still standing.
Okay, now the spaghettis are flying all over the place. I better stop shaking it or otherwise it's gonna make a big mess.
All right, you want to try Mama's? Okay, here we go. Here's the super tall one. Not very sturdy. Give it a shake.
Oh, it's so heavy.
It's so heavy. It collapsed. It didn't even withstand the tiniest little move of the tray. You can let it go and let's watch it fall all the way off the tray and down to the ground. So we made it tall, but we did not withstand the earthquake. Our creative engineering project needs to go back to the drawing board.
I think that that was a very good job. I love how the girls were both able to make a tower, a tripod, and an Octo Tower that withstood an earthquake. I want to hear from you guys at home. Were you able to shake your towers and see if they were able to withstand an earthquake? Please let us know in the chat window.
We really want, Stella has had her hand raised. She has been persevering. And so I'm going to allow Stella, if you want to tell us about yours or if you want to share your camera.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hello, what can you share with us about what you did?
I really have a tower with my blocks and I don't have spaghetti noodles.
Oh, that's okay. Do you want to share do you want to share your video with us so we can see what you built?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me give you a chance to do that. So you should be able to share your screen now. You can turn your camera on. We would love
so short.
Yes. What did you do?
I built, well, I was pretty frustrated with my building, but my mommy helped me a little bit.
Your mom gave you encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Show how you shake it.
Oh, so the earthquake came and it tore your tower down.
Yeah.
That's okay, Stella. It happens. Did you see mine? Mine fell over. Just completely. Whoosh.
Oh no.
It was down on the ground. I have to start all over, back to the drawing board. My engineering talents were just not happening this time. But guess what? That's part of the process. And you know what I learned? I learned I probably should be a little shorter on my tower. I probably should have a stronger face. Is there anything that perhaps you learned? And friends at home, if there was something you also learned and want to share, go ahead and write in the chat window or perhaps even raise your hand and we would love to hear from you.
Mina wants to share what she learned. Go ahead.
I learned one more thing. I learned sometimes the simpler plans are the better ones.
Ah, I like that. Mina learned that simpler sometimes is better.
Love that. Summed up so nicely.
That's fine, but let's build it.
Okay, and I hear somebody talking in the background there. We would love to hear more. Sarah, is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Tell us what you're doing, Sarah.
I am making a big tower for a big huge partner cloud.
Front cloud? Oh.
So I want to take the whole thing.
Did it fall over?
Did not fall over yet. It's easy.
Well, keep trying, Sarah. Thank you for sharing with us.
Cheryl, did you and Amaya want to build it again? We've got a few minutes left if you wanted to make any improvements on your design.
All right, Amaya.
I'm making one for Mom.
Aww. I want to see
And you know what? That is a really good strategy. When yours doesn't work, sometimes asking other people and learning from others is a good strategy. So I'm going to ask my friend Amaya here, how could I improve my tower? And she's going to help me out. We're going to kind of whisper off to the side here while we let other friends talk about it. And we'll see if we can improve my tower. I love that strategy, Amaya. Thanks for your help.
Can I share one thing? I've been teaching this lesson for 15 years, and most of the time, half the class fails. And they get frustrated, and then we talk about that's how you learn in science. It's not always easy, but we try it again, and we try it again. And I always say to them, remember that scientists have to keep improving and trying. So it's okay, just look at it and analyze it, and just keep trying. It's okay to do it again and again and again.
Thank you for that encouragement, Johna. I am going to try again, and I'm going to use my friend here, Amaya, who's going to help me out. Nadia, I share in your experience. Nadia says that she's having trouble keeping the structure to stand up. That was definitely my challenge too. You know, one thing we're going to do, we're going to break the rules again, Johna. Sorry, we're just a little bit of a rebellious group here. We are taking our marshmallow. Well, actually, we're going to take 3 marshmallows. And I really liked Breton's example where she took her Play-Doh balls and made a strong base. So we're going to take our marshmallow and we're going to cut it into some smaller pieces and try and make a bigger base that way. Oh, my engineer is telling me, no, we're not. What are we doing, engineer? All right.
Follow the rules, as you know, Cheryl. But you know what? I like your idea of just creating a tower with whatever you like. Make it as tall as you can, shake it, and try that out. Why not?
I think the shaking was one of the funnest parts. And you know what this has taught me is how difficult it must be to be an engineer, like how creative they need to be.
Sure. For sure. Okay, I'm going to let Amaya keep working on that. Do we have any concluding words, Parissa or Johna?
I think one thing to take away from this is that it's okay to not have something turn out exactly as you wanted the first time. The fun is in the building and in the process and in the learning. So you can just try again. And it's also okay to sometimes ask for help and to ask others for other ideas on how you can improve something that you're doing. Nina, did you want to add anything about what we learned today?
Sometimes it's your tower or your homework or whatever you're doing doesn't work, and sometimes you just have to try again.
I like that. Sometimes you have to try again, and that's part of self-determination.
And Kenji was saying, would you please repeat what you were saying about persevering, which you kind of did, but maybe you could just repeat it one more time.
So perseverance is, it essentially means not giving up. So if you are, I remember that when I do Braille math homework, and I was doing my long division math problems, and they're super long. Each one takes me like 5 minutes each. And I didn't want to do them, but I gave through, and the next day I took them into school, and I got 100%. So sometimes you just have to keep going and don't give up, because usually when you don't give up and you keep trying, great things come from it.
That's beautiful, Mina. Thank you. Something else is, I know as Mina's mom, I want to jump in and help her. And she's the one who'll tell me, no, Mom, I got it. And so she perseveres and she keeps trying and she doesn't give up. And most of the time she's able to do it even better by herself than with my help. So that's very impressive, and that's persevering as well.
And you're getting a few more comments, Mina, in the chat window. Kenji says, thank you. It's so inspiring. And Johna says, yes. And I'm so sorry. I'm not sure if I can pronounce these names correctly. Vibov is saying, yes, don't give up. So thank you for those comments, friends. Sarah is asking a question. She said, did anyone use the string? Very perceptive of you, Sarah, because that was one of the pieces of materials you could use. So I'm curious, did anyone use string? Oh, okay, thank you. My name is Rutwick. Okay, I'm so sorry. I very much messed that name up. Thank you, Rutwick, for your comments. So, string. Did anyone use string?
Perhaps that was just a tool that they didn't think about using this time, but maybe if they go back and redo it later, they might want to add string and think about what that would do. Anna said, no, I didn't use string.
Well, this is a fun activity I feel like we could do over and over again, and we will probably be making spaghetti marshmallow towers for the rest of our day here. And I hope you friends at home have enjoyed this particular activity. We have so many more STEM challenges, STEM activities online. So if you haven't already done it, yesterday we sent out an extension activity to build the tallest tower. And we really talked about having a plan. So today Mina shared with us what her plan was about the spaghetti tower. But there's a blueprint for how to create a plan and some ideas about creating a plan in our first extension activity that you received yesterday. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, go back and check it out. There's a really great video. The three of us are on it. Johna, Parissa, and I are sharing with you how to create a plan, and you can check out that video. There's also some videos about ourselves, just introducing us, and also just kind of sharing a couple of facts. Like, for example, did you know that volcanoes could have blue lava? What? Blue lava? Are you for real? Go check it out. It's on the video. And so go check that out. A couple of things for tomorrow as we close. I want to remind you again, send us your photos. We love seeing you. It's a way for us to connect. It's a way for us to see that our activities are engaging and fun for you and you're having a good time. So we love those. And also, I just want to remind you, there are prizes, Braille books. And so do send in those pictures for us, please. Couple of things for tomorrow. We are going to be building a volcano. And guess what? It's a little messy, but if you want blue lava on your volcano, I'm not against it. Bring us some blue food coloring and we want to see it. Most lava though, however, is red. And so you could also have red food coloring. Let me tell you the other materials in tomorrow's day's activity. If you have Play-Doh or clay, you will need some clay or Play-Doh. You will need, and you kind of need a lot because it's got to cover a bottle. So I think I might be having a kind of a multicolored volcano because I just didn't have enough of the same color clay, but that's okay. It'll still work the same. So Play-Doh or clay and plastic bottle. 12 ounce is better. So I know a lot of the water bottles come in like liter size or come in big sizes like that. If you could have a smaller bottle, like a 8 ounce or 12 ounce bottle, that would probably be ideal. Baking soda, if you could have about 2/3 of a cup of baking soda, a little bit of dish soap, a little bit of vinegar, and goggles, just because they are going to erupt. They won't explode, but they are going to erupt. It's optional if you want blue or red lava. It's a little bit messy, so if you don't like getting sticky fingers or even stained fingers, maybe you don't want to have the food coloring, but we're not against it, so bring that too. And the last couple of things, a pencil, because that kind of helps poke down the baking soda. So having a pencil or maybe a chopstick would help. And lastly, a funnel or construction paper. So if you don't have an actual funnel, we will teach you how to roll up a piece of paper to create a funnel. And you can use paper instead of a funnel. All right, so let me repeat that list. Clay or Play-Doh, plastic bottle, baking soda, dish soap, vinegar, goggles, food coloring, a funnel, and a pencil. And if you didn't catch it all, it is on our materials list that we will be sending out to you. And we were so excited to see you today, play with you, build towers, and we hope to see you tomorrow as well. The pictures can be sent to Leanne Grillot at APH, and Amy will give you some information about that.
Yes, we are so happy that you all were with us. And tomorrow, I loved getting a sneak peek, Cheryl, about tomorrow, crazy natural events, eruption. Love hearing about how volcanoes are fascinating. And thank you for sharing with us those materials. If you do have pictures that you want to send to us, you may send those pictures to outreach@aph.org. I put it in the chat box. I'll make sure to put it in again so that you've got that. We would love to have your pictures in order to post and share. So if that is all that we have for today, teachers, it has been a great day. Campers, we can't wait to see you tomorrow. We hope you're ready with volcano learning. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Creative and crazy natural events, and we're gonna have another earthquake on Maya's tower. Let's see if it falls.
Woo!
We would love to see your earthquakes at home. Send us your videos. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.